It's later in the day and we've got one of the boys there, the other boy here, and I think this is Finn. I think this is Lcee, but of course I could be wrong. So one of the boys there, one of the boys there, and Agita is there, and the ferals are hopefully in the shade somewhere. It's warm. Hopefully they're enjoying the shade somewhere, under the deck or in the bush. Okay, there's a lot to report here. I don't think I've been taping all that much over the last 2 days, just because the polls have been so strong, and I've been so caught up in the control burns, particularly the gambling, but also the drinking. And I don't really like either, even though the gambling, it's quite a high, and I met a lot of interesting people there and a lot of gamble weasels. And I gave a link to one of the ladies I met today to check out. I think I mentioned her in the last podcast. Is this one of the addicted old ladies that I gamble with? And I don't know how much detail I want to provide about this, but I had an option to slither party today here. And as someone that I had, it's a situation that people that don't live here but pass through here with, sort of party slither situations and offers. And I'm like I had seen this person I had, engaged in slithering and partying a few weeks ago on that big binge here in town, sort of the middle part of that binge. And, I noticed that they were coming to town again. Actually, I think I even contacted because they were posting elsewhere in Southern Ontario, but it looked like they were coming this way. So I texted, and they're like, yeah, we're going to be there tomorrow. And, kind of the stuff that I need. So even though it's only been a week, 10 days, and that last one was so deep and I almost didn't survive, but then I did so much substance, and this is, I think, a safer situation. And I was like, okay, I'll probably, party with you later today when you get here. And then in the meanwhile, the pulls were so strong, I was like I went to the casino. I fed the kids, of course, fed the girls, fed the kids, went to the casino. And I took, I think, some money from the casino cash from the drawer. I took about 300, and I went, and I lost it. And I took out another 400 because the bank was still open. And I started to get back some of the 300, and started, evening out a little bit. And I was playing obsessively, compulsively, talking to the other people that I know. And I was playing the 2 chili pepper machines, one on the left and one on the right. And I was focusing more on the one on the right. So whenever I went to the car to get more money, or, went to play another machine, I'd put a notice on it saying, this machine is in use. You're not supposed to put the notice for more than 5 minutes, but I was doing it for 10, 15 minutes. So I put a notice, and the machine on the left, I was also playing it while I was there. But when I went to get more money or play another machine, I would let that machine go because that wasn't my main machine. And I went to the car like the 3rd time, and I heard from the person they are probably going to be in town later, and there is going to be possibility of party slither and exactly the stuff that I want, And then I go to the car, and I come back, and the machine on the right, I had put the notice saying don't play, but the machine on the left, the chili pepper machine that I had been putting money into all day, other people had as well, but I've been playing it, not as much as the one on the right, but I've been playing it, and I intended to put money into both of them again. And a lady had just won $1,200 on it, and she was betting 150. I bet 3. So if I had won it, I would have been, $2,400, And as it was, I think I won 200 or 300 on the one on the right, even as she was collecting her winnings. And then I just walked out little down for the day, like $50 down for the day, which for me is really up, you know. So because I had a couple of wins and then I had the 300 or so. So I walk, you know, I think I had taken 300, I'd taken 400 out, 700. I left with 650, so $50 price of admission, and I came so close. But then it was a message, a very clear message from the universe, and I do take messages seriously, and I was like, I was not meant to win that money because, you know, I probably would have used it for purposes that were not healthy, you know, and so came very close, but I was being told. So I don't, you know, I'm like, okay, if the pulls are still strong, it's not that they're not. I don't think I've actually taped any footage in almost a week now. So we've got Agita there. We've got one of the boys there, and I think that one is Lcee. No, actually, I think this one is the one under the bed. I think this is Finn. This is Lcee. Lcee was in the other room and has just come here. So we got both the boys under the bed. Got Agita there. And we've got all three fiddles. Look. I've got a peanut too, right in front of her daughters. Just look at that. Now, if these aren't pushes, I don't know what is. The three inside and the three outside. The most wonderful inside kits you could ask for, including Agita, who's not very good-natured. Yes, just speaking of that. And the three outside ones who get along so well. And this one keeps trying to play with his sister, and then there's like screaming, you know. So at least the other one is under the bed, you know. So, but the most amazing kids I could ask for. Now the thing is, and that's why it's kind of hard getting started on getting back to the podcast. Took a little hiatus. Was that I think after I last posted last week or last. Yeah, I taped a bit for a few days, and then at about 10 days since the previous one, because the previous one was so deep and so dark and so horrifying in terms of what happens to me, what I, you know, the shadow that emerges in me, and how far I go into the underworld, into myself. I was gambling, all the control burns, meeting all the gambling weasels. And then, you know, I was drinking the booze, which I don't really like the taste of or the effect of. I don't mind the taste of Smirnoff Ice, but you know, so I was drinking that stuff and just, you know, gambling. And then on the Thursday, I think, was gambling really hard on two machines, two chili pepper machines, the one on the left and the one on the right. And I ended up putting the "We'll be right back" sign on the one on the right, because that was my main one, and I was also gambling on the one on the left. And nobody was playing those machines, so I was like, oh, you should be fine. And I'd been putting money into both of them like all day. I go out to the car to get some more money, I come back, and a woman had won $1,200 on the machine on the left in like 3 minutes. And I would have won. I would have. I mean, you know, obviously I was not going to win it. But if I had been playing that machine, I would have won double that, because I was betting 3 and she was betting 150. And she wasn't very nice, but it doesn't matter. I was like, she was like going, "Oh, it's a good thing for me that you went out to the car," and I'm like, you know, so I'm like, oh well. After that, I get a little stressed, and you know. As I was explaining to my neighbors, which I think they know, the gambling isn't really about the money for me. It's about the high and the rechanneling, and that would have been a major high, you know. And it was like a message, like not for you. So I got really stressed, and then there was an opportunity, you know, a situation that I had been in before here in town, but somebody from out of town with stuff from out of town. And I went for it, and you know, I was kind of hoping, keep under the control, it's in town, to do this, to that. of course, completely go wild, And afterwards, and it was there a couple of hours, and then afterwards I ended up walking, left the car where it was, and walked to a bar that I knew nearby, which was having karaoke. So I actually sang a Leonard Cohen song, "The Future," which my out of province friend, who's a huge Cohen fan, she could not believe that I sang karaoke. Well, sang is not really the word. I screeched it. But then all of that, I came down enough. I came down, I drove back, and then I went out looking for more. Fortunately, I couldn't find it, and that's kind of the stage I'm at. So after that, yeah, it's been hard. It's been very hard, but I've been doing it day by day, and I will keep doing it because I just know that the next time will be the last because I won't return. And I've known that for a while, but it's now everything is just very clear. So I'm like, okay, just doing day by day, and it's been okay. I mean, the polls were relatively minimal until today. They were ramped up this morning, so this is like day six clear. And the other big news is that the plumber came yesterday and was a bit of work, but managed to change the pipes. So that was really rotten. He removed the drywall himself, and he went down into the crawl space, and that's new pipe, and that's new pipe. And the old ones were copper, and they were completely rotten. They're just like, it was like a big crack from top to bottom. So no wonder it was leaking. So, and it had been happening for some time. So, and I put this stuff there so that to discourage the boys, the kids, from going and investigating the dirty stuff when they come into the kitchen. So that happened yesterday. I haven't got the bill for the plumber yet, but whatever it is, it's fine. They did a lot of work, and it was really good. It was good work. And now I'm picking and selecting the tiles. So I've already selected the counter and I've ordered it. And I'm trying to match tiles, and I'm going around. So yesterday I drove out of town to a place where they had a kind of a pattern tile. So the place was like almost an hour's drive from here, towards Windsor, but on the lake, Leamington. So I checked there, and then I couldn't get enough tiles, and the pattern would have been difficult to do anyway for my contractor. So I ended up, today I went to see another place, and I'm picking the tiles. So, yeah, it's a good distraction, a good rechanneling. There were some polls today, because, just in the morning. But since then, I've been busy looking after the kids, feeding the frills, feeding the inside kids, letting them go into that room, we spend a lot of time in the catio. So, that's what's been happening, And I haven't taped just because the energy was more in terms of re-entry to the ordinary world. So, and I think the re-entry has pretty much occurred. So we've got, just seeing all the kids. I mean, it cannot be bigger push for me than that, The three out there, and Jill has wandered this side or that side. So the three out there, who I've already shown, and the three in here, So tomorrow I'm going to go look at more tiles, and I might start tipping again now that I'm, And the other news is that 6 days, it's not just the party. It's not just clear of the party and the slither. It's also, and that's what's making it a little tougher in some ways, it's also completely clear of the casino and of booze. So I'm trying to avoid restaurants even where for lunch, like the Thai places where I got into the habit of having beers with my lunches, so I'm avoiding those and having like fast food, samosas. Eating all that samosas. I got samosas for tonight. So that's what's been happening, and I will try to get back into the taping, and I will try to post. So we got one of the boys there, and I think that's Finn. There you see him, and we get one of the boys there, and that's Lcee. I think asking me to open the closet. You want to go into the closet? Go in. Play. And Agita there, and the frills outside. So I'm going to watch some TV, some streaming. There's a Prime series I want to check out, based on books by Michael Connelly. And then just relax with the kids. And I did do some writing. And, I've started, even though it's sort of triggering, but I have to write the details of that stuff, which I don't talk about here. Because the details are important. The fact that I was able to go there and I know what's happening and I'm able to come back and I'm aware of everything that's happened when I'm in that world, I have to record it, so I will. So I'm doing it gradually. When it starts to get too triggering, I kind of stop, and then I feed the kids and just relax with the kids and watch some TV, which is what I'm about to do. So that's what's happening. Bye for now. Good morning, everybody. It's now exactly 1 week clear of all three things. The main, the primary, which is the most, dangerous and the deepest and the one that we're battling the most, the addiction or affliction or whatever you want to call it, and then casino, which is like second, and booze, which is third. So I'm like a full week clear of all three of those, and I started taping again for a week. I didn't even have the energy for podcasts. I was still keeping up with the journal entries, but I wasn't taping anything for posting. Just went so deep. I just didn't want to talk about it. So, and now I'm back to being able to talk about it at least generally. So, and show the pushes. To these, my kids, and then the three outside who I'm going to go and feed in a little bit. It's morning. It's 10 o'clock. It's very warm. We had a good night. People getting up and wanting to come into the section of the house and stuff like that as usual. But we had a good night and got up. Lcee particularly wanted to come into this room, so I let everybody into this room, and we're going to sit here for a few minutes. I'll work on some journal entries, and then feed kids, feed fools, and maybe try to do a little writing if I can. In addition to journal entries, I'm trying to at least deal with some of the deeper issues that and some of the events and what happens on the binges, which I don't talk about here. So some of that's in entries, but in journals, but the grittier details and the possible thoughts and insights and stuff like that, or I don't know if there's any insights, but just trying to process it. I am writing, so I do a couple, 3-4 pages of that stuff every day. So I'll try to do some of that earlier in the day if I can, and then I have to go out to look at tiles. There's another place I want to check. So that's what's happening. Bye for now. It's 5:55 p.m. and I'm here, just settled in the living room with the boys. I've got one of the boys there, and I think that's Finn, and the other boy there, and I think that's Lcee. And Agita nicely settled there. Earlier I went out to look at tiles, and there's another one that I might get. It's a little cheaper, and my contractor said don't get anything too cheap, but it's a smaller tile, so it'll be easier to install. And anything will be better than this, than having hardwood and the conditions been in. And if it's easier to install, fine, that's what. And it'll. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day, so it's day 8 clear, and got up relatively early. Kids wanted to come to the patio, so it's not too hot yet. So we're sitting in here. One of the boys there, Agita there running in, and we got Jill over there. And we've got Peanut behind the barbecue. That's her favorite shady spot these days. So let's see the chicken tacos meal here, and they put the sauce from the tacos chips. It's spicy, not super spicy. Put a lot of that spicy on the fries. I'll have the actual chips later, I think. Now a little bit later, and we've got Agita there. We've got Finn very, very comfortably settled there. And we've got Lcee nicely settled there, even though the door to that section is open. I've been keeping it closed the last few days because all the mess in there. But now they've got to the point where the mess isn't all that bad. And they're settled in this area anyway. The door's open, everybody's in the bedroom section. So I'm just relaxing and enjoying the time with the kids. Haven't even done much writing, just a little bit of journal entries and replying to friends. And look at that. So we've got the entire inside family here. I mean, in this room and in the next one. Inside family, very comfortable. I mean, how comfortable is that? How comfortable is that, and that one, and that one. Also very nicely settled here in this square thing. And then, look at that. Look at that. I mean, if these aren't the 6 biggest pushes you can imagine, I don't know what are. Look at them. So, good morning, everybody. It's 6:30 in the morning. Kids wanted to get up and come to the section of the house. So we've got, I think, Lcee there, and we've got Finn there, and Agita there, and the ferals sleep outside these days, you know, because it's too hot in the shed. So they sleep pretty much here on the deck or in the bush there. So you can see Bcee is right there. You can see Peanut is there under the chair. And you can just about see there in the bush. That's Jill. So, and I think those are like the grass clippings. They kind of become like hay. I've been told feral cats like straw. I'm not quite sure of the difference between hay and straw, but they seem to like to sleep on the old grass clippings. So, and last night I sent a picture of the ferals on the deck earlier in the day to my cat rescue friend in Toronto, and she said they look very hot, but it's a good thing that cats are like desert creatures. And yeah, in the day they do get hot. They sleep in the bush and stuff, and at night they're very comfortable. They sleep on the deck and they sleep out there, but they don't use the shed. The shed right now is very hot. It stays hot at night, you know. So it's now, I guess, day 12. And there were a little bit of polls yesterday, but I got busy with, you know, I was looking after the kids and cut the grass and did some more writing. I am doing some writing, little bits and pieces, and when it gets a little too hot, because I'm writing about the you know, excursions, the adventures, the shadow stuff. When it starts getting triggering, then I stop writing for the day and I go get some takeout and I feed the kids and I cut the grass and I do all that stuff. So that's what happened yesterday. Hello everybody, big news. The demo, you know, renovation has started. My contractor came, he's moved stuff around, removed the fridge. He's going to pull out all that warped hardwood, and we're going to put tiles, you know. Well, he's going to do it. And the inside kids are in the bedroom area. I fed them. One of them went to hide under the sofa when all this started, and I had to search, found him, got him into the back room, and I just fed the ferals. So, you know, it's a huge, huge, huge rechanneling push for me. Bye for now. Hello everybody, it's 11:11 and Agita was just about to climb onto my chest because I started taping, and she's kind of got used to the noises coming from the other section of the house. And we've got one of the boys there, the other boy there, and the contractor is working in the dining room kitchen area. So all the old hardwood has been removed, and he's just putting down a new subfloor. So he's got the wood and he's doing it now, and he's got a special thing that screws them in. There's a machine that, you know, like on a stick, looks like a pogo stick, and he screws down the screws. So, you know, talking to the contractor, it's always a pretty open. I don't really hold back my stalls. But anyway, so it's, you know, the work is really helping. I'm going to look at fridges today. I'm going to replace the fridge, stuff like that. Now, there's a little bit of an issue. It is my birthday coming up on Friday, and he's going to be doing the grout in the tile. Nobody's supposed to walk on it. Cats can't walk for 2 hours. I can't walk for 2 days, something like that. So there'll be grout. And I don't need to go into the kitchen anyway, and I'm keeping everybody locked up in here, and we're having lots of family time. And they don't mind not going there when the work is going on, because of all the noises. At night, yeah, they wanted to go investigate, and I go, you know, he's put some anti-mold stuff on the floors, and it's like, you know, a bleach, and it's toxic, and better not to. So we're all locked in here. So it's not. Sweetheart, don't bug your brother was just jumping down from there. There's no need for you to get upset at him, you know. So we've got, yeah, I guess we're all kind of cooped up here in these 2 bedrooms, the bedroom and the study area. So I was thinking, and you know, the contractor knows that I have use of a condo in Toronto, and I said I might go with the kids when we need, not to use the kitchen, and it'll also be a bit of a break for us. My neighbor has very kindly again agreed to feed the ferals, but then the issue becomes, okay, it is my birthday on Friday, and I'm not really planning on seeing anyone. However, I do go for lunch with my cat rescue friend in Toronto, but it's usually not that day or that weekend. It's on a trip, the next trip. And this is sort of short notice. I probably won't be able to see her even if we go this weekend. So we just go for lunch. So I don't know. I'll check with her. But so I don't really see anyone. But I would prefer to spend. I don't really celebrate, but yeah, it's a bit of a milestone, especially since it's such a struggle. I'm kind of lucky to still be alive, so I do kind of celebrate. So still being around, and having 6 kids now. Last birthday I only had the 3 inside ones, so this birthday I had the 3 outside ones, who I also love very much. So I fed them. I fed the inside kids, and I'm thinking, okay, I would like to celebrate, on Friday, be here with my outside kids too. Inside kids will go with me to Toronto, but the outside kids, I want to be able to feed them and give them extra treats and just appreciate them. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the work is like then. We'll see what the polls are like. And my out of province friend is like going, she knows that the polls have been strong at times. And she's like a little worried about me in the big city. And she's like, we're approaching, I think, 2 weeks clear now. But she's like, it'll be better for all of you to be locked up in the bedrooms or cooped up here than go there and have use of the condo. But I might, there's a chance I'll go out partying all night. I think it's a small chance because the work and the rechanneling is really helping out a lot, And when I go there, I will just, go out to eat, go to a couple of movies and celebrate that way. We'll go to the art gallery if I'm there in the day when it's open. So I'm kind of figuring it out. But my friend says, do what you feel is right for you. And I'm like, okay, I'll just play it by ear. In the meanwhile, we're just all holed up in here. I'm going to work on journal entries, go out, have lunch, and I'm going to go buy the fridge and have it delivered next week after. And I'm getting a new dishwasher too. So stuff like that. So it's a good rechanneling, and he's doing a very good job so far. So that's what's happening. Okay, bye for now. Okay, the subfloor is all done. This is like it's noon. So like all morning he's been cutting these woods and look at all the screws. A lot of screws, but he has a special machine that he's been using. I'm not sure where it is. I said somewhere. Anyway, that's what's happening. Bye for now. Having a shawarma for lunch. They have the $8 special on Wednesdays. Bye for now. Everybody, we've got Agita there. I think that's Lcee there. And we get Finn there. 2 of the fiddles there. Bcee on the chair and Jill on the. This is today's work. He's put the grout. So he mixed the mortar and everything. He put that underneath, and then he put this orange thing. And then tomorrow he's going to put start putting the actual tiles. Now just relaxing with kids, and I'm going to feed fiddles, feed kids, and just stay in this section of the house with the kids and watch some TV and stuff. Bye for now. I might get some takeout. Bye for now. But the kids, either there, boys there, eating in this area, since we're not going there. The foundation for the tiles has been laid. And 2 of the girls are here, and I just saw Peanut as well a minute ago. So I think she's gone around the corner, which I can't see from here. So I've got Bcee and Jill there, and I think Peanut is just around there. Anyway, I'm going to just stay in this kind of family togetherness kind. We're kind of forced into this section of the house, but it's fine. It's fine. We're enjoying it. Yeah. Bye for now. Okay, you started the tiling. Everybody just fed the girls, and Bcee is closer than she usually lets me get. She was eating treats and the thing. There's food there. Peanut is there, and Jill is there, the usual distance. So, I think maybe this is Peanuts or Bcee's birthday present to her. It's not quite yet, it's tomorrow. But it's Bcee's birthday present to her funeral day. Everybody, I've got Agita there, one of the boys there, one of the boys there. And I've just fed the kids, I fed the funerals. I went with my contractor in the morning and picked up the new counters. And there they are! The new counters, brand new counters that match the new tile floors. The tile a little bit more grayish, but it's supposed to be like a stormy gray. And the counters are a little bit more beigey, but they've got the gray and the black kind of veins in them, and they go very nicely. And they've got brown as well, so they go very nicely with the previous wallpaper backsplash. So it's absolutely, I'm very, very pleased with the work done by my contractor, and also with the materials, having found these things and shopped around and got everything on, that I wanted, Hello everybody, this is my birthday lunch. I was going to eat out on the way to switch cars, but then, I suggested to my contractor, I said, I can just get takeout and I can eat at home with the kids and I can get him something. So I got a shawarma and I got my favorite chicken samosas. And I had to get another box of the tile anyway, as an extra backup, We don't need it, but I want to keep a couple of extra boxes. So I picked up an extra box of tiles, and I'm sitting here. The contractor wanted to finish his the tiles he was working on before the thing dried up, and then he was going to eat outside. So I'll go and see if he's having lunch. I'll have the rest of my shawarma, chicken shawarma, and chicken samosas. And we got kids, So I was going to go and eat out back with the feral kids, but two of them would run and hide in the bush. Everybody, it's lying here appreciating sober family togetherness time with the entire inside family here. Agita didn't, hiss or snarl or anything. Even when one of the boys got up, went to eat, and then came back, climbed on the bed. Normally she'd object to that, but everybody's getting along today. I guess they know it's Daddy's 13th or something like that, cat year's birthday. Bye for now. Okay, I had a good night with the kids and fed the kids, fed the girls, and I've come out for plant-based sausage and French toast, and I got to do some shopping and get a mop to do the floors, the new floors and stuff like that, and a little cleaning up, and I'm going to try to edit and post today if I can. Bye for now. Hello everybody, I guess I'm pretty much back. Took a while, but return after the very, very deep adventures into Underworld, into the darkest heart of myself, Shadow, Kurtz, Captain Kurtz, Colonel Kurtz, whatever. But I'm pretty much back to the ordinary world now, to the above ground for the most part. And I did go to the casino yesterday for a short time, and I had one beer yesterday, but those are not even as controlled burns, just as a sort of a little bit of reward after all these weeks clear. So, but the biggest really distraction rechanneling has been the work on the house, and it's just about done. He wants me to mop the floors. Of course, I didn't know him, and my amazing neighbors left me some treats. Butter tarts on the porch, and I'm just about to. I'm working up the the energy to actually mop the floors. Okay, mopping the new floor, and like you said, there's a white film on it, which is coming out. Very fancy new mop. It rings really easily. Okay, I mopped up used my new mops and got most of the film. I don't think it'll be harmful to the cats. It's just mortar, but I did mop it. And I put these things, the carpets, because he put that protector thing, and it's got little bits of mud mortar stuff on it. But I don't think it's harmful. And they're walking on the carpets, which is good. Don't walk on the carpet, sweetie, not on the blue thing, if you don't mind. So I'm just letting them see the rest of the house. It's their house. As the contractor said, even though he's a dog person, he said, they're probably upset at, not being being allowed into their own house, or the rest of their house. So we've been cooped up for very long, a week. But Lcee particularly, he's the one who was meowing, and he really wanted to come inspect the work and see the rest of the house. So everybody back into here. Lcee really, he likes exploring and he wants to see the rest of the house, but I'm like going, no, there's still, dust and everything there. I didn't do a great job of mopping up the floors, but, got the major dust off. So everybody I got to get everybody back into here. That's Lcee. He wants to go explore more. He's the explorer of the family. So we've got Lcee there, we get Finn there, we got Agita there, and we've got all three of my equally darling ferals out there. Bcee, Jill BUT. So I mopped the floors. I went and bought the mops. I did all of that, and the work is pretty much done. Tomorrow he's going to come. We're going to do some extra stuff. He's going to put this door onto a hinge because it's off the rolls. It's off the thing. It's just completely, So he's going to do that. He's going to put a light fixture in the kitchen if he can, and just clean everything up, move everything back, put the fridge in the laundry room. So it's been quite the ordeal. It's been almost a couple of months of living like this. And the last week at least, pretty much all four of us have been confined to these two rooms. And there has been, I guess it sort of came at a good time because it was when the work actually started, just a week ago, he did that much in less than a week. When the work actually started, it was a huge distraction. And the four of us being locked in here, that was very, very good. There was like, no, sweetheart, I'm not going to open that door. If I open that door, you're going to go running. And there's still dust and stuff there. Still is, after tomorrow he's going to come again, and then we're going to, move everything around and put the fridge in the laundry room. The new fridge is going to come end of the next week, and the new dishwasher is going to come, and I have to get the plumber to attach the sink, and it's pretty much done. New tiles, in kitchen and part of the dining room, and we'll have two new appliances, and new kitchen counters, new sink, new, not new faucet. The faucet is the same one. It's new. I just got it a couple of months ago. So all of that was pretty stressful, and along with it, I think about 7 weeks ago, I had a fairly big binge, a 3-part binge here in town. And then, about 5 weeks after that, all of this started, and there was, the stress, and, it's not an excuse, but this is how junkies, addicts cope with stress, and other things came up, and there was kind of, sort of the inner, the possession thing, and an opportunity came up, and I had a very, very dark binge, with lots of shadowy stuff in myself coming out, as I said, turning more into Kurtz from Apocalypse Now, or Hearts of Darkness, and kind of, really had to face the shadowy stuff in myself, and, and it was a very close call, but managed to return, but it was so deep, and it was so disturbing, and it was such a close call that there was still a lot. I was drinking, I was going to the casino every day, as all the control burns were getting out of control. And then another opportunity came up a week later here, and then I got frustrated because I narrowly, quote, missed, unquote, the jackpot at the casino because I left the left machine unattended. I think I've told that story. So then, and I'm not describing all of that, so I sort of have, but generally. So then there was there was another one where, again, got very shadowy, but it was limited. It was like a couple of hours here in town, and I got back safely. And then just a couple of days after that, 3-4 days after that, the work started, and that was a huge help. Huge help, because, rechanneling, went and bought the tile, went and bought the counters. I'd already ordered the counters. Bought the tiles, and the contractor was coming every day. Sweetheart, no. So this is pretty much the finished product. I bought these tiles. I matched them to the counter. I took pictures of this, pictures of that. A little bit of brown in this. That's a little bit more gray, but there is kind of beigey in it. And didn't do the whole dining room because those hardwoods are fine. It was just the ones over there that had buckled and had to be pulled out. But I decided I might as well just do tile here. And he's got a thing, he's going to put the thing, and the new counters, he's going to make a hole for the sink, and we're using the same, cabinets. They're fine, nothing wrong with them. Same microwave. Stove oven is okay, just needs a little cleaning. It's stainless steel, it's going to go back. We're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to put that in the laundry room, and the new stainless steel fridge and dishwasher are coming end of next week. So the older dishwasher there, I'm just going to throw out, So tomorrow he's going to come help me with all of that, a couple of small things, do the door thing. I got a light fixture. It's a bit fancy. My dad bought it years ago from the previous house, which was under construction for years, renovation. So I don't know if it's going to go there or not. We'll find out about that. Little things like that. Put everything back, put that in there. And I got a carpet that I might use here. It's just rolled up in the garage. And then after that, the kids get after cleaning and everything. I got to clean the counters too because they can jump up on this. So then the kids can explore properly. But today I at least let them see that the rest of the house is still there and there have been changes. Lcee particularly was very keen on it. So I'm not saying there hasn't been pulls. I mean, went so deep, and then there was like the very, 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 very shadowy deep binge in Toronto. And then a week later, a sort of a follow-up, here, not quite as out of control as that one, and a lot more limited in time, but still pretty deep, So, and then after that, there was some gambling and some casino. No, actually, after that, there was correct. After that one, after the second one, so 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, there was no gambling till yesterday, after my birthday, and I'm not going to say how many years, I don't know, approximately 13, 12.5 in cat years, I don't know. So after my birthday on Friday, I did yesterday, Saturday, go to the casino briefly, left even, well, briefly, a couple of hours, and I met one of the casino weasels and talked to them, and gambled a bit, and went up and down, and left exactly even, So for me, that's leaving up. So, and then I had curry afterwards, curry chicken, and I had one beer with it, just one beer. So that wasn't really controlled burns. That was just kind of a reward for making it through, this 2.5 weeks completely clear of everything, casino and booze included. No booze, no drink. I've been eating fast food mainly because they're not licensed, like Wendy's and shawarmas and stuff like that. And just bringing takeout and eating here, eating in a fast food place or getting takeout and eating in here with the kids. And the 4 of us have been cooped up in here. I just go out to get, takeout and stuff like that and cat food. And I did switch cars on Friday. I brought one of the old cars. So, and then I've been talking to the contractor was working very hard. And I talked with him, and as you know, I don't really, not the nittier grittier details, but I do talk about the addictions, So, I do talk about the struggles, but not the details. Details would be a bit much, but details are a bit much for me. I did do some writing. I did, in that period before the work started, I did do some writing about the details, the stuff I don't talk about in here. So that's sort of an avenue for that. They're disturbing, because they're very, very shadowy, but they're interesting stories. So I am, and I don't sort of whitewash what happens to me. So that's where we are now. I haven't posted a podcast in over 2 weeks since before the follow-up binge. So where it stands now, 2.5 weeks clear from the follow-up binge. I guess almost a month clear of the last big one in Toronto, and then I think there was 5 weeks before that. So it's sort of back on track, and this has helped a lot. Rechanneling. So and being sort of, I was considering going to Toronto with the kids because to the condo because to get out of the way of the contractor and letting the work go on. For the last 2-3 days, but the problem with Toronto is that there's a lot more options for the party slither, and my out-of-province friend was like advising strongly against it because she knew that I was dealing with. Okay, I'm going to have to talk more about the whole, processes and return and framework and anti-hero and Hearts of Darkness and all of that framework stuff. Another time. I'm kind of behind on the entry on the. I've been keeping up with the entries. That's the one thing I've been doing, journal entries, daily. But I've been behind on the posting of podcasts. My very, very few viewers. So where it stands now, just to recap. Went through a really, really tough period. Strong pulls, and then circumstances, and then stress with the damage to the house and insurance not covering it, all of that stuff, and then opportunities, and then went really, really wild. A really, really, really deep binge in Toronto, but somehow survived it. And then there was a follow-up binge, and then after that. And during that, between the really deep binge in Toronto and the follow-up binge here, a lot of gambling and booze, controlled burns, which were got out of control. But since after the follow-up binge, and kind of a little bit of a jolt, I don't know, and then. The work started. Huge rechanneling. So the question is, what next? So right now it's like cleaning up out there, getting a couple more things done. The new fridge and stove have to arrive. Sink has to be hooked up, and then the kids and I can start using the rest of the house and stuff like that. So and then working on journal entries, trying to do some of the writing if I can, and just going day by day. So I did go to the casino yesterday, but relatively controlled, left even, and I didn't need to go today, and I don't need to go tomorrow. We're going to be busy with stuff here, and then the stuff happening in the house. So I think I'm going to be okay for the controlled burns, at least for now. And if I have to, casino and the occasional beer or wine with lunch will work. So from the 7 of us. So we got one of the boys there, and I think this is Finn there, and the other boy there, and I think this is Lcee. It could be the other way around. This is complaining about not being able to go to the rest of the house is probably Lcee, and then Agita there, and the 3 ferals, Peanut, Bcee, and Jill, who have been huge pushes to me as well during this really, really rough patch. So and look at them, all 3 of them, so we got the whole families, and the outside family nearby there, the inside family. They're the ones who weren't particularly affected by the work in the house because they're living outside, and they've been getting really good, treats and food every day. Well, they always do anyway. So from the 3 of them, Peanut, Bcee, Jill, and then Lcee, Agita, and Finn. So Finn, Lcee, Agita, and the 3 ferals outside, and myself, without a doubt, the craziest, nuttiest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of the earth. Somehow or the other, I'm still going. I'm still 1 point in front of the other. It got rough. I almost gave up hope at one point. I came very close to, but this whole house thing, the kids, the inside kids, the outside kids, pulling me back, and I'm pretty much back for now. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be smooth sailing. There's still going to be very, very strong pulls because there's very, very deep places that I go to. That's what addiction is about. We'll talk about that. It's a little bit more than addiction. That's why I kind of favor the possession model. But we'll talk more about that later. For now, from the 7 of us, Bye for now. See you next podcast. Wish me luck, and I'll try to post a little bit more regularly now. Maybe in 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. Bye for now. Or maybe before, once the house is completely finished and cleaned up. Bye for now.